Friends, my name is Umesh Kare and name of my video channel is Performance Management in Manufacturing. Under this subject, we are regularly releasing the video which are helpful to the manufacturing sector to directly implement on the shop floor for the improvement. And today we are releasing the video on process capability studies. What are the pros and cons of the process capability study? What are the assumptions? And at the end, we are showing one example on the process capability study, how to calculate the process capability study. So be with us till end of the video. And now we are starting the video. We are sharing some slides along with the video to understand the subject. So first slide is on the process capability study. It's what is its formula and what is definition of the process capability study. So definition is, it is the process analysis tool. Process capability study is the process analysis tool which shows performance of the process related to its specification limits. Means it is the tool which shows the comparison with your specification limit, that where you are standing with comparison of the specification limit. And the formula of the process capability is Cp is equal to 2T divided by the 6 sigma. T stands for the tolerance, means what is the process tolerance of your manufacturing process, that has to be mentioned over here. That is upper specification limit minus lower specification limit is the tolerance of your manufacturing process. And 6 sigma, the value of sigma is, that is standard deviation. Sigma is standard deviation and the formula for the 6 sigma is R bar by D2. So R bar stands for the average of the range. So whatever observation you have taken for the process capability study, you have to calculate the range of each set of the observations. Means if you are conducting 5 observation and one set is having the 5 observation within it, so range of that 5 observation is R. And if you have more set of observation, means if you have 5 set of observations or 10 set of observation, so you will be calculating the range of each set of observation. So if you are calculating the range of each set of observation, you have to calculate the average range of all set of the observation. So if you are taking the average of all these ranges, then that is called as a R bar. And D2 is constant. So in further video we are showing what is meant by the D2. So in this slide we have discussed the formula of process capability, then definition, and then we have also explained what is 2T and 6 sigma. Then we will go to the next slide. So what are the assumptions on which we are conducting the process capability study? So the assumptions are, it is based on the assumption that if you are conducting the process capability study, so you are considering that the process is normal and average of the process is centered. This is the first assumption on which you should conduct the process capability study. If your process is not normal and if it is not centered, then you should not conduct the process capability study. Then you should conduct the CPK study. That is another method of calculating the process capability and it is central tendency. Then what are the interpretation of the process capability study? So if your process capability study's result is showing value 1, then it shows that your process is capable. If your process capability study's value is showing 1.33, it shows that your process capability is meeting the minimum CP requirement. And if your process capability value is 2, it means that you have achieved 6 sigma limit and your defect generation is 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So these are the interpretation of the process capability studies. So what are the shortcomings of the process capability study? First shortcoming of process capability study, that you require the upper and lower specification limit to conduct the process capability study. Then it cannot be applied if your process is not centered, means if if your average of the process is not at the center of the process. In that case, you have to conduct the study CPK study. That is another method of conducting the central tendency of the process. Then we will discuss about the D2 table, because in the formula of process capability we have discussed about this constant. The formula of CP, that if you recollect, that is 2T divided by the 6 sigma, and 6 sigma sigma formula is R bar by D2. So this is the D2 table. So in this table, on the top row, the samples size, that is n, has shown in the top row, and the left column it is shown the sample subgroups. So on the top row, the values shown are 2, 3, 4. These are the samples. Means if you have the sample, two number samples in your sample size, 3 samples in your sample size, 4 sample, 5 sample. So for our study, we will consider the 5 samples. Means one set of the sample is 5 numbers. And if you are creating the subgroup of each sample, so if your subgroup are one subgroup, 2 subgroup, 3 subgroup, for our study we are considering the 3 subgroups. Means for our calculation we will take the 5 samples. That is, you have to select the column which is showing 5 samples, that is n is equal to 5, and subgroup number 3. Then the intersection of this subgroup 3 and the sample 5, the value comes around 2.38. So this value 2.38 we should consider for our further calculation. Then we will consider the example and process capability study. So here are the 3 set of observation. Each is having the 5 observations. That is, first set is, that is 2.3, 2.1, 2.2, 2.8, 2.1. Second set of observation is 2, 2.9, 2.7, 2.5. Third set of observation is 2.1, 2.9, 2.6, 2.3, 2.9. So R value of each set of observation is, first R value is 0.7, that is the range of first 5 samples. Then second R value is 0.9 and third value is 0.8, and the R bar value is 0.8. So formula for the calculation is R bar by D2. So R bar comes to the value of 0.8 divided by 2.38. Just now in the previous D2 table which I have shown, our value comes to the value of 2.38. So 0.8 divided by 2.38, this comes to the value 0.336. So our standard deviation is 0.336. So this standard deviation, this sigma value you should use for your calculation. So for process capability study, the formula is 2T divided by 6 sigma. So 2 into whatever tolerance you have, process tolerance, divided by 6 into this value 0.336. Another method for calculating sigma value, that you can use the Microsoft Excel for the sigma value calculation. The formula is STDEV, and you should put all the values of observation into the bracket separated by the comma. So if you put the enter key, then you will get the value 0.34 is the value of standard deviation with the Microsoft Excel. So in this way you should calculate the sigma value and process capabilities value with the formula which we have shown in the initial slides. So now we are closing the video. I hope that you like the video. If you like the video, subscribe the video and share the video. Thank you to join my video. Thank you very much.